If Michael Mann's Ali made fantastic use of the lipstick camera, well, on Collateral he wanted to see into the night sky, trees, hills and the sky all lit up. The light of Los Angeles never looked quite the same as it did in Michael Mann's Collateral. Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx were superb in a tightly written script. Paul Rubel and Jim Miller's Oscar-nominated editing fires along at a terrific clip, and even James Newton Howard's score, subtle, not too obtrusive, gets to the heart of the sociopath that is Vincent, played by Tom Cruise. Laurence Olivier evokes, as a tempest, the rancid displeasures of a hurricane, while William Shakespeare's Hamlet plays across time, reflecting the anger and grief in revenge, the testy emotions between players, and the ghost of the recently murdered king. Why, there's Olivier. Those that follow him should tremble, for the earth has seen its last daffodil. Through his encounters with the Crow, Flatheads and other mountain men, Jeremiah Johnson, Robert Redford, learns the ways of the wild. But that's not why Sidney Pollack's film remains special. In addition to fascinating cinematography, there's a fine screenplay which leaves room for the parts dialogue cannot accomplish. There are many unforgettable moments, such as when a grizzly bear hunter brings an unwelcome guest to dinner, and a marriage out of nowhere. The music is great too, fitting like warm furs to keep out the bitter cold. Jeremiah Johnson remains as invigorating today as its big screen premiere in 1972. It's an oak, rock solid and immovable. You know, I've really enjoyed putting these lists together. In 1977, the coolest place to be was in a movie theatre watching Star Wars: A New Hope. Of course, I'd have to wait a few years until home video came along, but the effect was no less profound. From the stirring music of John Williams to the characters, indeed, imagine a couple of tin cans being our introduction to this story. I'm of course referring to R2-D2 and C-3PO, and it works so well because we get introduced to the Empire, we get introduced to the Rebellion, Luke Skywalker and eventually Han Solo and Obi-Wan Kenobi. The whole cast is first rate, and while many will contend that The Empire Strikes Back, like Star Trek II The Wrath of Khan, would be their preference from the entire saga, Star Wars: A New Hope remains my favourite because I just get the most out of it. And indeed that extends to the soundtrack too. Burning Homestead and the Battle of Yavin are spectacular tracks in what is a complete experience for me, and one I will never forget. I adore Silverado. It got no Academy Awards, although Bruce Broughton's score, The Best of That Decade, was nominated and the sound guys got a nod as well. I love the characters in this. You've got Kevin Kline's Payton, who's found just without any possessions in the desert by Scott Glenn, who plays Emmett. And then Brian Dennehy, who is really a mountain of a man, a bear of a man, who did many, many great performances throughout the years. And this, I feel, was a signature role which allowed him to show, even at his most villainous, the many shades and colours to his talent.